What's up guys, I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 31 of Let's Build a City. Today we're building Chili's. Hi, welcome to Chili's. Get it? Vine that went viral? Alright, anyway, let's build a Chili's. Hi, welcome to Chili's. Hello Daryl Fabian, welcome to live stream.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Chili's restaurant. Not only will I show you how to make the outside of your Chili's, but I'll also show you how to make the inside of your Chili's as well. I think this one's pretty hot. Anyway, I do hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. If you do and you're new around here, please do consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. I'll ensure that you got all my stuff set directly to your sub box. But without any further ado, let's get started. Just before we start building, everybody, here are all of the materials that we are going to be using.
Alright, let's grab the materials. So we need birch wood planks, bricks, dark wood planks, quartz slab.
To make our Chili's. These are the materials that we are going to use on the outside of our build. We will be needing more stuff later on, but I'll show you that when we get to that point. Please make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well. Feel free to make this grid in your world if you are planning out a city. It will help you a lot. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure you got all that stuff. Make sure you got enough room to make it. Make the grid if you like. And once you're ready, we can begin. Step 1, Chili Builders. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid. If you've made it, count backwards from the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then count left by 1. This is where we're going to start things off. Place 6 birch planks on top of each other.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then extend left by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I then want you to place a dark oak plank behind this 5th block and extend it upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend the 3rd block left by 7.
7. 1, 2, 3. Let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then join it down to the ground. This may take you a second or two. I want you to take the dark oak plank that hit the ground and extend it backwards by 2. 1, 2. Grab your bricks and extend that 2nd block to the left by 10 using your bricks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are then going to take this 10th block and extend it backwards. We want to extend it backwards by 12. 1, 2. We are then going to take...
I'm gonna make sure that's 10. So. Okay, that's 10.
This 10th block and extend it backwards. We want to extend it backwards by 12.
Okay, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're then going to extend it across the back of the build by 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Grab your birch wood planks and place a birch wood plank going left of the bricks, extend forwards, and then left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be able to join all the way to the front of the build. That will give us something which should look like this, which is the floor plan. Believe it or not, that is a huge hard part of the build complete. Once you have reached this point, we can now place rows of birchwood planks on the right hand side of the build. We want the right wall of the build to be as high as the birchwood planks that we previously placed on the front of the build. So we are basically just making the entire wall as high as it needs to be right here. What you can also do is on the back wall you can do the same. So you can raise up all of these birchwood plank blocks, including that little one that is just connected to the birch, or to the bricks rather, in there. You can raise all of those up. We're also going to have a little window on the back. The window is going to be positioned, if you start from the bottom right hand corner, if you move up and left, destroy that block, and then the one to the left of it, and the two above, and then place either glass block or glass pane. I'm kind of enjoying glass block at the moment, but you really can use either. It doesn't make too much of a difference, except when it comes to the door. We're going to have a little window there. In addition to this, I'm going to recommend that you fill in the roof. Now, the roof, simply, to create it, all you've got to do is like connect the birchwood planks together at the top of the build, all the way from the front to the back. There's really not too much that you've got to do other than that, ladies and gentlemen. So just join them together, front to back, like that, and it'll be nice and easy. Now, when it comes to the rest of the front of the build here, we are going to have to connect this birchwood plank down to the ground that we have here on the left side. We're going to fill the entire birchwood plank area that we've just made in using, well, birchwood plank. We have to create a little window. If we start from the bottom right hand corner here and we move to the left 1 and 2, and then up 1, and we destroy this birch plank block and the one to the left of it, and also the two above, and place a glass block or pane. I mean, pane would probably look better, but I've got a glass block on me, so that will look exactly like this. What we are also going to do is, I think it would be a good idea to connect the dark oak wood planks together down just behind the row birch that we made. And I think it would be a good idea to just fill in the entire face of the dark oak wood plank area. And not only fill in the face of the area, so to speak, but I think that we should also raise up the two rows, can you see them here, that join to the bricks on the left hand side of those. So we'll raise all of those up as well. So, my bad. So, we should have something which should look like this, which is a very modern shape, really, isn't it? So, what we're now going to do is directly left of this birch plank area, we're going to place a row of bricks. And it's going to extend up left, and it's going to be one row shorter than the birch. It's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that, right? The bricks are going to extend outwards by 2 rows further than the birch. 1, 2, and of course they want to be as high as the initial row, like this. I want you to place some dark oak slabs on top of the bricks, like so. What we are then going to do is we are going to extend the dark oak planks here. We're going to extend them backwards a little bit. We're only going to focus on the top part, and we're going to focus on the part that hasn't been touched, which is this left side here. I want you to extend backwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to extend across, and I want you to join back to the front like that. Now the reason that we've done that, and by the way you can fill the top of this shape in using dark oak planks. Now the reason that we have done that is so that we can add a little bit of stylization in the form of dark oak slabs. I want you to place the dark oak slab oak wood slabs going all the way around the top. Now, we will be coming back to this sort of area a little bit later on, but a dark oak wood slab like that. Now, the reason that we've done that, and by the way, you can fill the top of this shape in using dark oak wood planks. Now, the reason that we have done that is so that we can add a little bit of stylization in the form of dark oak wood slabs. I want you to place the dark oak wood slabs going all the way around the top. Now, we will be coming back to this sort of area a little bit later on, but that is going to be later on. I just want to work on an area whilst we're actually here, if that makes sense. You know, just whilst we're here, we might as well do it. So, the entrance to Chili's is actually like here. It lies in here somewhere. We grab our red concrete, we take the bottom right-hand corner of the dark oak plank area, and we move left. You place 3 red concretes on top of each other, 1, 2, 3, and then you extend left, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now, all of these blocks underneath the row 3 can be dug out. You can dig out a row in between the dark oak wood planks in the ground like this. On the left and right sides, we're going to place a glass block here, right? The middle is going to be the entrance. We don't have those blocks on us at the moment, though, so once you have done that, we are going to take out our quartz slabs, and we're going to place quartz slabs on top of the red concrete area. And we're going to extend the quartz slabs left and right, and also one row towards us, like this. We're going to make sure that the quartz slabs overhang the build as well on the left hand side, and we're going to extend them backwards by 2. We can't, like this. We're going to make sure the quartz slabs overhang the build as well on the left hand side, and we're going to extend them backwards by 2. We can't do it anymore because a wall is going to be in, so we'll have something actually like this. What we are now going to do is we are going to build up some of the walls of the restaurant. I don't really want to get rid of any of the blocks that I have now, so we will come back to the entrance. We have a little bit more work to do with it anyway. So all the way around the brick parts of Chili's, we want to have windows. Now this is the easiest way to divide up the space. If you start right here to the left of the entrance, on top of the brickwork you place a birch plank block. Gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. Follow that pattern going around. Gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. Coming across the back of the build, we want to have the same amount of windows. So we're only going to do gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. Gap of 2, birch. So we have an area that is equal. Now the rest of the area is actually on the back going to be birch, so this left side. We're going to raise up this last birchwood plank by 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to join all of these birchwood planks to the wall on the left hand side, like that. We're going to stick a red concrete on top of the birch, and we're going to extend it around. We're going to extend it around in such a way that it mirrors the shape that is below us. Meaning, it wants to follow the same path. So if you take a look, perfection. Raise up all of your birchwood planks until they hit the red concrete area. This is going to create the separation between the windows. And as you can see, there is rather a lot of windows. There we are, perfect. What you can also do at this point in time is, you can place half a row above the red concrete, a row of dark oak wood slabs that skirts around the border of the red concrete. So, above it, going all the way around, dark oak wood slabs like this. The reason that we don't want to cover up any of the red concrete is so that we can hang stuff off of the slabs. So all of the windows need glass. We're actually going to be placing 2 rows, like this, of glass in every single window. The method of doing this is up to you. I kind of want to just like place one layer on one side. And then kind of like go backwards on myself and place another layer, like this. Just like that. I feel as though that was a little bit faster than adding it all together, but maybe I'm crazy. Above every single window on top of the glass, we want to have On the left side of the window, white wool, and on the right side of the window, lime wool. That is for every single window, ladies and gentlemen. We create, using these, they're supposed to look like kind of like a little bit of a canopy, meaning those things that kind of like overhang a window a little bit. I think it's supposed to like stop rain or debris or whatever from getting in the window or on the window. I think it's supposed to keep them a little bit cleaner, but it also adds a nice little bit of decoration. We're going to chuck all of this away for the moment, although we will be needing more of these, I imagine. And we're going to grab the black concrete, we're going to grab lantern, string, white carpet. Lime carpet, door, shovel, coarse dirt. That's quite, although we will be needing more of these, I imagine. And we're going to grab the black concrete, we're going to grab lantern, string, white carpet, lime carpet, door, shovel, coarse dirt. That's quite important. And also ferns. So, first of all, we're going to take all the window areas and we are going to place string in front of the top layer of glass. This will allow us to seamlessly place carpet on top of said string, and we will be able to make the canopies look a little bit better. On top of the left string you place white, on top of the right you place lime. I'm sure that I probably didn't have to tell you that, so we just... to have the canopies extend one row forwards using the carpet, and just like nice, just like this. There we are. See how that looks better? Nice and 3D. That is way better now. What we also want to do is we want to dig out a row of grass path all the way around the restaurant. So starting from in front of this right hand side, this brick side, we want to basically just dig the grass path going all the way around. Now this does leave us with a little bit of a predicament, and you might be able to see it. Underneath the bricks now, you can see a slight gap. So, for those of you that are a little bit OCD like me, guilty, you may want to delete underneath the bricks and replace them with, well, bricks. I'll probably be doing that when I do the floor for the inside, so... What we also want to do, which is difficult now, we want to dig in front of the grass path. We want to make sure that we don't destroy any of it. We want to place coarse dirt, and we want to have ferns inside of the area. Except on this occasion, we're going to go all the way around the build, and we're actually going to go all the way around to the right wall of the... and we're just going to place all of the coarse dirt in it, and then we're going to place the ferns inside. So it'll actually look really cool. It's a bit of a different design. Right? That actually looks quite cool. Now, in addition... I think that actually looks quite cool. Now, in addition to these things, if you like, you can add some lanterns above and in between the windows, kind of like this. So I don't know how you want to hang the lanterns, but I kind of like hanging them on the front, like in between and above each of the windows. On the side, I don't like seeing two lanterns so close together, so I'm only going to hang the lanterns in between the middle sets of windows like this. On the back, I'm going to do the same thing, just in between the middle sets of windows like so. Actually, on the back, you won't even be able to see, so you can just like hang it in the same sort of way. I think that it just adds a little bit more character to the build to do this. We can also place the door. That's important. The door can now be placed inside the glass. We can place black concrete extending down from the quartz slab corner that we created above the door. That makes everything look a little bit more official, I think. What else can we do? Well, we can create a bit of a border for the right side of the build. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you draw an invisible line from these bricks here to the outer part of our outline, I want to create kind of like a border using a outer part of our outline. I want to create kind of like a border using a mixture of coarse dirt and we're also going to be using a little bit of podzol, but we'll start off with the coarse dirt. I kind of want to create a semicircular little garden just on the right side of Chili's, and it can have ferns and it can have bone meal and it can have all of these. A semicircular little garden just on the right side of Chili's, and it can have ferns and it can have bone meal and it can have all of these things. So we also need a little bit of podzol and stuff. I'll actually keep the coarse dirt. So this little area here, just right, I just want it to look kind of like a. We also need a little bit of podzol and stuff. I'll actually keep the coarse dirt. So this little area here, just right, I just want it to look kind of like a flower bed, or maybe even like a bedroom garden or something like that. I want to bone meal the area, but I'm very aware that if I bone meal the area right now, I'll cause myself some problems. So if I want to just dig to the left, and I'm going to create a little bit of a path here. I'm going to dig a path of smooth stone that is just going to sit here as wide as the entrance. It's going to come out as. I'm going to dig a path of smooth stone that is just going to sit here as wide as the entrance. It's going to come out as far as all of this, and I can now just bone meal this little area. It would have been nice if we got some more flowers, but you can always solve that problem later. So if you can imagine, this is all going to, this concrete here is going to be turned into grass, and it's just kind of like a nice little garden. We'll add some flowers. So it looks a little bit better. We're going to have a pathway here that leads you up to the entrance of Chili's. I'm sure that you guys can imagine why. Just like this. Perfect. And then we can fill this in with smooth stone, or your material of choice. It doesn't have to be smooth stone. Smooth stone just works well for me because I use it a lot in pavements. So in a city, it's quite easy, it's quite nice to connect it to, say, like a pavement, like you can see with some of the other builds. When it comes to the rest of Chili's, well, I want to have a 3-block path on the front of Chili's. I want to have a 3-row path on the front of Chili's that is made out of smooth stone. So this is just going to go all these parts. On the left side, I'm going to have a 2-block path that's just going to lead us towards the back using some smooth stone as well, just like that, so you can imagine how that's all going to be filled in. Left side, I'm going to have a 2-block path path that is just going to lead us towards the bank using some smooth stone as well, just like that, so you can imagine how that's all going to be filled in. What else am I going to do? Well, I also want to dig out some car parking spaces. So the car parking spaces are going to be made out of white concrete, which we've already got a row of, and then they're going to be 3 rows of grey concrete in between. So if you can kind of imagine this, if you extend in your mind where all of these grey concretes are, and these white concrete, then you can kind of see where the car parking spaces are going to go as well. In addition to this, I also want to do something else. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that I'm mentioning all of this is because I want to do a lot of this off recording, because it's very tedious, time-consuming work, and I don't want to add to the time on the video. So we want to dig out all of this and that, replace that with smooth stone, this with grey concrete. I also want to take area as well. So what we're going to do up here, we have to do a couple of things. For these next parts, we'll need some red concrete, we'll need dark oak wood planks. Of course, we'll need the smooth stone for the path and the grey concrete.
Very good, Daddy. How do you build that quick? Can I borrow your passport, please?
No.
Ready?
Oh, there you go. Your dad just found me back there. Go on.
For the car parking spaces as well. And we might even need the bricks too. So we want to create a ceiling inside of Chili's. The best way to do that, I think, is simply just to add a row of red concrete that spreads across the entire inside of your Chili's. Now, the red concrete is going to just be in line with where the red concrete is on the outside of the build. So, if you just simply extend the red concrete outwards, extending in, everything should be okay. That will also allow us to, once that has been complete, connect this part of the build downwards, like so we'll be able to connect the kind of like, this is where the sign is going to be and all of that. We can connect this down to the roof as well. Imagine that that roof is going to be filled in. I want to fill in the entire floor, connect this down to the roof as well. Imagine that that roof is going to be filled in. I want to fill in the entire floor of Chili's. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to dig out the entire floor. Oh, and what's also important is if you take special care, this is what I was talking about earlier with the OCD, I want to leave underneath all of the brick blocks here, because that's pretty much where we've just placed the grass path. That's the only place you can see it, I do believe. Underneath all of these brick blocks, I'm going to recommend that you change the block underneath the planks as well to include some bricks, so that will be a little bit tedious as well. So the reason that I've showed you all of this, oh, and by the way, the floor I'm going to fill it in completely with dark oak wood planks too, so once I finish doing all of the bricks, I'm also going to be adding the dark oak wood planks, so that's also a key factor. Now, I've showed you all of the things that are going to be very time consuming and not fun to watch on video. I'm going to dig out the smooth stone path, I'm going to dig out all of the car parking spaces, I'm going to fill in the roof with red concrete, I'm going to dig out the floor and I'm going to replace it with dark oak wood planks, taking special care to replace the bricks underneath the bricks. And once I've done all of those things, ladies and gentlemen, we can move on to the final part of Chili's in regards to the outside. We will have all of the inside. So I'm just going to magically swoosh. And there we go, as if by magic, ladies and gentlemen, I have done all of those things. So just to recap, we now have a smooth stone path that leads all the way around the restaurant. We have the car parking spaces as well. See that the ceiling is done too. If we see from the outside of the build, you can now see bricks underneath the bricks. So that is actually a major improvement that was personally driving me crazy. And then if we take a look inside, we now have an entire floor. Very good. I'm really glad that we've managed to do all of those things. I do imagine that you guys may still be working on those, as we did just jump forward in time. Of course, if you have to, pause the video and then resume if necessary. The next big thing, and the only thing remaining to do on the outside of the build, is Chili's sign. To do that, you will need either a crafting table or a loom. I'm using a loom, it is so much easier. You'll need black banners, white dye, you'll need a little bit of red concrete and some lime concrete. Let's do it. So, I'm going to crack open the loom here, I'm going to chuck it on the floor, I'm going to crack it open, and I would be better off if I could move the black banners and the white dye on the floor. I'm going to crack it open, and I would be better off if I could move the black banners and the white dye up to the top of my inventory. Okay, so we're going to start off by making C. I'm going to place a single banner inside of our loop. Chuck all of the dye in there because it doesn't matter, you can just load it up with dye. And the first pattern I want to apply is this, white dye along the top of the banner. I'm going to grab the loom banner, place it back in the loom, and I'm going to place white dye along the bottom. I'm going to grab the loom banner, place it in the loom, and I want to place white dye going up on the left hand side, and that will give us our C. Now I can place the C safely in the inventory, and I can now place a brand new banner inside of the loom. We're going to continue with that pattern, the white die coming off the left side vertically. We're going to grab that new banner, place it back in the loom. Then we want the opposite, we want white die on the right side vertically. We're going to grab that new banner, place it back in the loom, and we're going to place the horizontal white die straight through the middle. And then we can grab that banner and we can place it with our C. We're going to place a brand new banner in the loom, and now we have to make hide. This is incredibly simple. We simply place the pattern, which is the vertical white stripe of die. We're going to grab
Then we have the word chills.
right next
That
to
guy on YouTube.
brand new banner inside
I just explored
and we have
Chili's.
So this is going to be the vertical row of white die on the left side of the banner. Grab the new banner, place it back in the loom, and we want the horizontal white die on the bottom of the banner. And we'll grab that and we'll place it next to the I. So C-H-I-L. We would need to make another I, but I'm on creative, so that I don't have to make another one of those. But you might have to make another I. Last but not least, we have to make S. So, brand new banner inside of the loom. We want to place white die along the top of the banner. Grab that new one, place it back in. White die along the bottom. Grab that new banner, place it back in. And to make the S, we want to have the... I always forget which way around it is.
Turn your room on.
Alexa,
Going from the top left
Alexa,
corner,
turn on Jen's room.
and that is your S.
Okay.
What about your light? Do you want your
Alexa,
So we
turn on
put all
Jen's light.
these in our inventory,
Alexa,
and we
turn on Jen's light.
right now Chili's. So
Okay.
here we are.
There you go.
Chili's
And you've got a
is
blue
going
light there
to
as well.
be
Yeah.
placed directly above the entrance area. We're going to start from the left, and we want to make sure that we have 2 whole rows. So you're actually going to leave half row's gap and then 2 full blocks. So C-H-I-L-I-S. Then I don't know how. I'm actually placing another row. There we go. Chili's. Perfect. To finish this off, we're going to place red concrete above the first I and the L. Red concrete above the right side and line to the right. And that is just kind of like the little chili above Chili's. I love how that works out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire... spin around, the entire outside of the build complete. I think that looks really, really cool. What we can now do is head inside of our Chili's, and with the materials that we have now, we're going to try our best to lay a bit of foundation before we have to grab some new stuff. So, to start making some headway inside of our Chili's, you want to grab your red concrete. Black concrete, dark oak planks, bricks, birchwood planks, white concrete, dark oak doors, and I'm good. Use some lanterns to lighten this place up a bit, which is literally the first thing that I actually want to do. I want to hang a couple of lanterns in between the windows because it is mega dark inside here. I don't know whether I'm going to keep them, to tell you guys the truth, but just to brighten it up, it is so dark in here. The first thing I actually want to do, now that we have lit up this side of our Chili's, is I want to take the middle of the restaurant on the left side here, which is right here, like it's the middle window. And I want to place red concrete extending from the middle of the restaurant, which is right here, it's in between 2 windows on both sides, a row of 13 red concrete.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so what? 10, 11, 12, 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to take the first block in that row 13 and we're going to extend it left and right by 2. Now we're going to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3 in the ground, and then we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to keep repeating that. 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to repeat. And then 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to repeat. we're basically going to, this is laying the foundation for where the booths are. Now, here's a bit of correlation. Where the red concrete sticks out here from the middle, we also want to place red concrete on the sides of the build as well. So, against the wall here on the right-hand side, these are going to be single tables. On the opposite side here, we can't do it in this case because it'd actually kind of get in the way of the entrance, but you can do it everywhere else. You can place the red concrete against the wall. And you just make a nice little bit of headway in laying out where some of the seats are going to be. I want to have against the wall. And you just make a nice little bit of headway in laying out where some of the seats are going to be. I want to have kind of like an interesting overhanging light above the middle part of the booths here. So the overhanging light is actually going to start one row inwards from the middle part of the booth, right next to this lantern here, so I might have to get rid of it. And we're just going to place two black concretes extending down, and then we're just going to extend this way, and we are going to place black concrete again. I don't know whether to have it here. I might have it here where this window ends, which would be a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 6th block, I'm just going to place two more black concrete extended. Down, and we're actually going to place some daylight sensors and some fence, so I reckon I'm going to get rid of that lantern there, just like that. So we're going to have something which should look like this, and it'll look a lot better once it's all done up, of course. On this side of the build here, above this two set of tables, I kind of want to have the Chili's logo again. So just to remind you, it's basically two red concrete next to each other, one extending up, and then a line concrete to the right. It's just like a little logo. It is very hard to make it with such limited space. I want to create a lot of the foundation here for the countertops and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place dark oak wood planks extending the left side here. I'm going to extend the dark oak wood planks forwards by 2 rows like this, so it kind of like mirrors the right hand side here. And I'm going to place a door here and also here, so this is kind of like a service door. This is how you get behind the counter, so waiters / waitresses and all of that. I'm going to build up this area a little bit using some dark oak wood planks, just to kind of like add a little bit of shape to the building. I think I'm also going to add the red concrete inside here as well. So again, just to kind of like, it's just to make things look a little bit nicer. We can use either brick for this, or also going to add the red concrete inside here as well. So again, just to kind of like, it's just to make things look a little bit nicer. We can use either brick for this or red concrete. I'm going to try brick first. I want to create an entire countertop here. Actually, the brick's nice. It kind of adds like an extra material. I quite like that. So this is like the separation between like the kitchen and like everywhere else. We don't really have room for like an enclosed kitchen, so it's going to be a little bit open, but I think that's perfectly fine. And just along this back wall here, we're just going to place an entire row of red concrete. We'll probably be getting rid of some to them. And maybe I'll hang a couple of lanterns up. So maybe like, if I try and do it evenly, like leave a gap of like 3 here, and then maybe if I do say the same sort of thing, like maybe 3 or 4 like extending here, just I'll hang a couple of lanterns up. So maybe like, if I try and do it evenly, like leave a gap of like 3 here, and then maybe if I do say the same sort of thing, like maybe 3 or 4. Extending here, just so that it's kind of centered. I think, yeah, that works out quite nicely. It kind of looks like it's in the middle a little bit. Maybe we'll line it up with the red concrete here of the booths. Yeah, I think. Does that look even? I don't know. So that'd be the middle. Okay, now that looks even. I think it's literally like where I had before. that looks nice and even. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually laid a decent amount of foundation inside of our Chili's restaurant. And now I can scrap all of these materials. I don't think we'll ever need them again, and we can grab some brand new ones. So to furnish the inside of the build, you're going to need to grab all of these materials that I'm now showing you on the screen. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them, and once you do have all of those, we can continue on and we can make the rest of the inside of our build. So now that we have all of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be starting off using the spruce stairs, the birch fence, weighted pressure plate, dark oak fence, daylight sensors, sea pickles, flower pots, oak saplings, and the humble bell. So what are we doing with all this stuff? The first thing that I want to do is I want to place spruce wood stairs inside of all of the booths that we created. Now, these spruce wood stairs basically want to be placed on both sides of the rail. So we can do it like that. Perfect. All here. It'll take a little while. There's actually a lot of seating inside of this Chili's, so hopefully business is booming. And we want to place, oh, we even miss some here. We want to place all of these spruce wood stairs like this. And of course, you feel free to change the colour of stairs. It just kind of like, I think it goes quite nicely. And we want to place the tables as well. These are going to be birch fences in between both pairs of stairs. Should be quite intuitive where you have to place them. And this is to contrast against the dark oak. And we missed some more stairs here too. But that's what it should look like. Perfect. And then when it comes to the tables, I'm using weighted pressure plates because it's such a contrast against the dark interior. But feel free to make it any colour that you like, using any material that you like really. You can use trapdoors, carpet, different weighted pressure plates. That's probably it. I mean, you could use slabs, but they're a bit chunkier. But any really thin block you can use in any sort of colour, like this. If you like, you can place stuff around the table, so you can place like flower pots. They, which look like cups and mugs and containers. You can do the same. The sea pickles are the same thing, like you can stack them in threes or twos or what have you. It basically is just like, it just looks like drinks containers and stuff. Some of the flower pots you can place like saplings or flowers in, and that will just like brighten things up. Just makes it look a little bit more nicer and a little bit more bright. The two pair layers of black concretes that we have here? Well, first of all, we're just going to place some dark oak fence in between them, and then we're going to place daylight sensors. How do you do that? There we go, perfect. We're just going to place a row of daylight sensors extending across, just like this underneath them, and it just looks like that kind of like fancy hanging light sort of stuff that you might see at restaurants. I think it looks kind of cool. I really do like it. What about the bell, you may ask? Well, I'm just going to place a bell here, just next to the entrance, just to let people, or maybe just directly above the entrance, as you know, sometimes like when you walk in places like you'll hear like ding ding ding. That's what that is. In addition to that, I'm also going to place a bell on the countertop here, so if you want to get somebody's attention, you can ring the bell. And that's kind of like what we're dealing with for that side of the restaurant. I quite like what we've got going on there, and now we can do the rest of it. So I'm going to chug all this away, and I'm going to grab the quartz. There's block of iron, iron trapdoor, button, chest, barrel. So, I'll actually also need something that I used before as well, but whatever. So inside the kitchen here I want to have a little freezer. I reckon you can destroy this row here of birch, and I'll have to clean up the floor and ceiling here. I actually want to slot a freezer in here, so it's just going to be a couple of blocks of iron with buttons on. And then just to the right of it as well, I mean, you can use iron again, and you can just chuck like a trapdoor on top, and you could even use more buttons, or you can put like a switch on the side, and you can vary the type of block as well. I might swap that to white concrete. I want to add a bit of storage in the kitchen, so I'm going to delete these two red concrete blocks here and stack a couple of chests on top of each other. I want to do the same thing here on this right side. I'm going to delete 3 red concretes, and I'm going to stack some barrels here, so that could be like drinks or what have you. You know, you can stack them in a bit of a sloppy way as well. Red concretes, and I'm going to stack some barrels here, so that could be like drinks or what have you. You know, you can stack them in a bit of a sloppy way as well, if you like. I want to have 2 cookers. So this is where the food gets cooked. This is going to basically be, so I'm going to leave a gap of 2 here on the left side, destroy 2, gap of 2, destroy 2, and then that will leave 2 right there, so it's kind of like quite evenly destroyed. And I'm just going to place any kind of furnace. Blast furnace looks kind of cool, so I'm using those. I'm going to place detector rails on top for the grill, and then I'm just going to place quartz stairs as an extractor. I realised that lantern right there doesn't really fit, does it? So we'll just destroy that. I'm going to place a couple of brewing stands about the place, so the brewing stands can just be placed just all over this back wall like this. If you like, you can also place, say, like, we need some flowers for this, some oak saplings, we're going to use the quartz stairs again, wait to pressure plate, maybe even a little bit of flowers out. Think I'm missing anything else? But you can place like cups and stuff next to. Oh, where's my pickles? There we go. And you can place like cups and stuff next to the. But you can place like cups and stuff next to. Oh, where's my pickles? There we go. And you can place like cups and stuff next to the brewing stands. We want to have a couple of tills, so these tills are going to be placed here and here. That's where the ends of the booths are here, and then just wet pressure plates next to them, and maybe even decorate the counter with like a flower pot as well, just to keep it. Nice little bit bright. I want to replace that lantern because it's actually kind of dark. I think that's kind of like the perfect amount of light. Here, I'd prefer like a white concrete block or something like that. Really, maybe even like a pillar cross block would just look better. Just so it contrasts against the freezer. It's just a little bit of decoration. I mean, it doesn't really do anything, of course. If you want to re-floor Chili's, now this is completely up to you, because the floor actually looks okay, because it doesn't, because everything contrasts against each other, nothing kind of blends in so much. But if you want, you can re-floor Chili's, and my suggestion would be using carpet, actually, rather than the wall blocks, and maybe even a bit of chiseled quartz block to add a little bit of variety. So what you might want to do, and this is the last part of Chili's, ladies and gentlemen, the interior is actually done. You might want to re-floor the kitchen in chiseled quartz blocks. It just looks cool. Wanted to use this construction a little bit more. I actually like it quite a bit, and I'd recommend carpeting if you like the vibe. The rest of your Chili's, so they're completely optional though, because it works quite nicely without the floors. I think it looks just fine. So that's going to be up to you.
Alright, I'm just gonna carpet absolutely everything, because that's what he did. And I absolutely re-floored the kitchen as well. Yeah.
So that's actually it, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually completed the tutorial, minus the floors, if you want to do them. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is hopefully what we are both looking at. This is a 100% fully completed Chili's.
We have made Chili's. Guys, this restaurant here, this restaurant is inspired by a guy who went viral when Vine got shut down. It's about a guy who said, "Hi, welcome to Chili's." It's a Vine that went viral back in 2014 or 2015, I think. But he sadly passed away. So let's take this moment and say our goodbyes to that guy. That guy was an absolute legend. He made the funniest Vine on Vine. He made the funniest Vine. Hi, welcome to Chili's. Wow, this restaurant is absolutely amazing. I really love Chili's. Let's take this moment to say our final goodbyes to the hi, welcome to Chili's guy. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Hi, welcome to Chili's guy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye guys.